Are you an introvert that is trying to master sales and ultimately make more money? If so, this video is going to be for you. All right, I'm going to show you exactly how I went from someone who was probably like one of the shyest people on planet Earth, where I'd be at a restaurant, I'd be so shy I wouldn't want to ask the waiter for a simple refill of water. I went from that to speaking on stage in front of hundreds of entrepreneurs and obviously taking thousands of sales calls now and closing at around a 30% close rate pretty consistently and overcoming objections time and time again. So here's what I did. Hopefully this helps you out. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jack Bly. I built my coaching business to 170K months so far. I'm sharing what I've learned along the way. So let's dive in here. So number one, the first thing that we need to understand here, the thing that's really plaguing you is number one right here. This is self-identity. All right, so self-identity. All right, so this right here, what is this? So this is basically the labels that you put on yourself. This is what you label yourself as. This is, I am an introvert. I am shy. I am not a people person. These things that you tell yourself. All right. And here's the thing. All right. I in my fitness coaching company, my first coaching company that I still own today. One of the foundational things in our program, we taught people basically how to create, habits and things that would last forever, default actions. And it was founded on something called self-identity. Like, this was the foundation of everything. We realized, like, I studied psychology for years and years, reading like dozens of psychology textbooks. I was kind of a nerd. And we realized something that, self-identity basically drives your habits. It drives your actions. All right. Because, let's say if you identify as a smoker, what are your habits going to be? You're going to smoke, of course. All right. If you identify as an introvert, what are you going to do when you're, at a dinner party or when you're on a sales call? You're probably going to act more introverted. All right, more reserved, more quiet, probably not as confrontational. All right, so your self-identity drives your actions. We know that now. And how do we change this? All right, like, what's going on here? Like, why is this so important? It's because, like, with this, like, this kind of BS, like, this is made up. You literally made this up in your mind. All right, you labeled yourself this. You looked at some past experience, and you're like, well, I acted that way, so I must be this type of person. This is just who I am. It's all BS. All right, here's what's going on here. All right, so we have something that's called confirmation bias. All right, so if I ask you, okay, look around your room and look at everything that's brown. All right, like off the screen, look around your room, like literally, like, what is everything that's brown? All right, only look for the brown things. Are you 5 seconds? Look for all of them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now recall to me all these things that are brown. All right, you probably have all these things in mind. Oh well, the walls, the bookcase, the pillow over there. Blah, blah, blah. All right. And now if I ask you for, like, what were the things that were red? You probably can't really recall right now, right? You can't recall because what happened? You were looking for the things that were brown. Or your brain finds what you're looking for. And so if you tell yourself you're an introvert, your brain is going to search, or it's like Google, it's going to search for all the past experiences of you being an introvert, of you acting in this shy, reserved manner. And that only reinforces this identity more and more and more. Thus, you're going to be more likely to act in accordance with identity even more, even stronger. All right, there's just another thing, another concept you want to understand. It's neural pathways. So neural pathways are basically, like, think of them as, like, this is your brain. All right, I know it's just a circle, but think of this as your brain. And a neural pathway is kind of like this habit, this pattern of your human existence. And the more it's reinforced, the more this self-identity of introvert is reinforced. The more you tell yourself this, the more you live and experience, or just imagine these experiences of you acting this way, this neural pathway, it grows stronger and thicker and stronger and thicker and stronger and thicker. And so basically it gets to the point where it is so strong, it just becomes your default. It's hard to break out of. You might be here right now, but I'm going to show you how can you reinvent yourself. How can you overcome this so you really tear down this neural pathway and you build a new one of confidence. Confident, can overcome objections, great salesman, all this good stuff. All right, we're going to rebuild that today. That's the first thing you understand. All right. Now, number two. One of my mentors, he told me this, and it stuck with me forever because this quote really changed the way I see things. It was this. All right. You must adapt to your goals. Your goals are not going to adapt to you. All right, realize what I'm saying here. a lot of people think, well, this is just the way I am. I'm just introverted. It's just my personality. It's, what I was born with. It's just the way I am. The thing is, like, that doesn't serve you. If you want to close more deals, if you want to be great at sales, make more money, this thing, like this result, this outcome, it's not going to adapt to who you are. It's not going to just like magically transform itself. Oh, well, Jack is this way, so let me change the nature of the goal and human existence and realities and psychology. Like, it doesn't work like that. You're not going to alter the universe. You need to alter yourself to adapt to the goal. You must adapt yourself to the goal. So with this said, like, except right now, you have to change this. You can't identify as an introvert on sales calls, or you can't just be this way and continue to expect different results with the same character traits, with the same actions, with the same self-identity. So you must adapt yourself to the goal. All right? So stop BSing yourself. That's number one. Number two here, how do we actually make this happen? How do you change your self-identity to actually lead to this different actions of being more extroverted, of being able to overcome objections, of closing more? Reps. All right, reps. Now this sounds simple, but we're going to break down what I actually mean by this. How do you use this tactically to actually ingrain this new neural pathway in your brain to close more deals? All right, so first thing here is, like, if you're new to sales, if that's you right now, you're brand new, or you're just taking your first few sales calls, realize you will suck at first. You will absolutely suck. I remember my first one, we had a $69 a month offer, super cheap, super low ticket. This was the hardest thing in the world. All right, my first one, I was shaking in my boots. All right, didn't know what to say, didn't have a script, had no clue. And simply by reps, simply doing that experience over and over, I got more comfortable with it, just purely by reps. All right, I got a little bit more comfortable with it more and more and more. And what was going on here is, there's this part of your brain that you can refer to as the lizard brain. All right, this lizard brain is like your survival instincts. And this part of the brain, it basically, like an example of this, like let's say you're sleeping, you're in your bedroom in the middle of the night, and you hear this noise in the kitchen, right? So naturally, kind of all your senses like perk up, you have some adrenaline pumping, your heart starts beating faster, you're wondering like, what was that? Like, is there someone in the house? You might get up and, obviously go take action and look, check it out. Now what's going on there is there's this unfamiliarity, this unfamiliar stimulus going on in your environment. You're not unfamiliar with it. And so you have all this crazy reaction going on because your brain is fearful of dying, right? You really don't want to die. So it's a survival instinct or an unfamiliar thing. Let me like freak out my body, get all this adrenaline pumping and check out what's going on. I'm unfamiliar with it. Same thing with sales calls. If you're unfamiliar with sales calls, with the nature of it, well, but what's going on of how to answer questions, how to overcome objections, all these things are just unfamiliar. Your brain, your lizard brain, literally thinks you're going to die. And so you might freak out. Your heart might start pumping when your prospect, comes out with your hard question or a hard objection. You might start freaking out a little bit. That's normal. That's a lizard brain. So you literally just need to do more reps to give your lizard brain proof of, hey, like I've been here before, nothing happens. I don't die when someone asks me this specific question or this objection. That's literally all you need to do, which is pretty interesting. But overcome that lizard brain. Give your brain proof, hey, I'm not going to die here. All right. What else we got? All right, so one of the best things you can do here to really ingrain new self-identity is using your recordings. Okay, so if you don't have sales recordings, you need to start recording your calls. You must. All right, but because what we want to do is when you have a great call, all right, when you have a call where you like really perform at your best, you overcome a bunch of objections that are hard, and you get a closed deal, keep that recording and listen to it over and over again. All right, this is reliving an experience of a positive self-identity, of you acting in a nature where, you were, let's say you were influential, you were convicted, all right? You were willing to ask hard questions, you acted more extroverted, all right? And so you want to replay this experience over and over in your brain, and you can start to tell yourself, hey, I am this person because of this. I have undeniable proof, and I'm playing over and over in my brain. Like, this is me, this is who I am. And so re-listen to those winners over and over again. This is one of the things you can do to start to change that self-identity and strengthen this new neural pathway. So this can become your default. All right, one of the best things you can do there. Number 2. Number 3 here, this is huge. This is plaguing you. All right, I can tell you with confidence, like this is the thing plaguing you. This is the thing that plagued me for so long. Beliefs. All right, this is something I still have to audit to this day. Is my beliefs. All right, so you probably have this BS beliefs that are stopping you from closing deals, that are stopping you from overcoming objections. So let's break down some of the most common ones here. Okay, I'll start with this one. So first one that's very common is, oh, I don't want to be, salesy, quote unquote. All right, people say this. They're like, oh, I don't want to be like salesy, like blah, blah, blah. Man, first thing, like where this is rooted from is you have a negative belief system around sales. You do. All right, so if you have a negative belief system around sales, you think salesmen are slimy, you think they're, snake oil salesmen, they're always trying to scam you and just pull a quick one on you. If that is your belief system around sales, why would you want to be good at sales? Like, you have all this negative beliefs around it. You think it's gross, it's disgusting, it's bad. Your brain is not going to allow you to act in accordance of improving at sales because you hold these belief systems. So that's the first thing you need to fix. Sales is a great thing. I love sales. Sales makes the world go round. Sales changes people's lives. All right, in both my companies, like, I know, like, we have an amazing product, a life-changing product. All right, so I know when I'm on a sales call, I know, hey, like, it is my obligation. If this guy's a good fit for what we do, if we can truly help him, it is my obligation to get him on board, to convince him, to influence him to take this positive action. Because I know, like, this is truly the better decision for him. All right? I know that for a fact. So you need to really reconstruct your beliefs around sales in the first place. Like, the first thing you can do to really reconstruct this is ask yourself, is my product good? Like, ask yourself this. Is my product good? The thing that you're selling. All right, if it's not good, you're in trouble. You're going to have a hard time with this one because you are, like, being, like, a bad person, kind of. You're being a bad salesman because you're dealing a bad product. You're dealing a product that doesn't actually elicit positive change in someone's life. And so this is the first thing you need to fix. You need to have a good product. If you do have a good product, like, don't you see it as your obligation to get this in the hands of as many people as possible, the people that truly need it? Isn't that your obligation? Like, wouldn't you be a bad person if you had the cure to cancer, but you weren't giving it out to people? You weren't showing people, hey, I have the cure, I have the cure. You weren't selling it. Wouldn't that make you a bad person? All right, truly, like, think about that. That's the first thing. Like, if you have this right, if you have the product right, then this should be checked off. You should overcome this belief because now you should see, hey, like, oh crap, like, I need to sell this. Like, this is my obligation. This thing is so good. I need to give it to the world. That's the first one. Number two, a fear of confrontation. Huge one, right? Especially for the people that see themselves as introverts right now. A fear of confrontation. You probably have this fear of, I don't want to break rapport. I don't want to ask him these hard questions. Like, I don't think he's going to respond positively. These are just all broken internal beliefs. I used to struggle with this one where I would skip questions on my script a lot. These, like, consequence-based questions. These, like, pain listening questions, because I thought, like, oh crap, like, this is going to break rapport. Like, this guy's not going to like me if I ask this. But, like, it's just a false belief. It's just a false belief. Like, the fact is, like, if this is true, my product is so good, I need to ask all the questions on my script, the hard questions too, because this is going to give them the most awareness possible. All right, because a lot of sales is this. Like, think of it like this. Like, you're solving a problem, and for this person, the prospect, like, a lot of the pains associated with this problem is subconscious. They don't actively think about it. It's not conscious for them. So, like, for example, like, if someone's not booking enough calls for their coaching business, then, they know that they're aware of, like, the conscious, like, surface level problem. Like, okay, I don't have enough calls on my calendar. This sucks. They know, okay, well, my business isn't making the money I want to make. Like, those are very conscious problems. They're very, like, simple. But you need to ask these deeper consequence questions, these pain-building questions, because it brings in more awareness of the second-order consequences, the real stuff that's going on. Well, Jimmy, I guess, you're not booking enough calls for your business right now. What's going to happen if you don't fix this 6 months from now, a year from now? What's going to happen? And you need to get them to become aware of the true, nature of their situation. Because, like, if they don't fix this, then, well, shoot, like, I don't know if I'll be able to continue to pay my bills. Like, well, I'm trying to provide for my family. Like, I'm having a kid soon, and I don't know if I can provide for them. Like, all these real things start to come to the surface level, and this is what you want. All right, the more awareness, the more conscious awareness someone has of the true nature of the problem, the better decision they can make, right? Isn't that true? The more awareness someone has of everything going on, the better of a decision they can make. Don't you agree? All right, so that is confrontation. That's how you overcome that. That's how you ask hard questions. That's how you overcome objections, is you truly need to say, hey, I know this prospect has this problem, and they're not really aware of all these subconscious pain points, these subconscious things going on. They're just not aware of. So I need to ask questions so they become aware, so they can make a better informed decision. All right, that's confrontation right there. All right, another one. Let's see. Another one is rejection. All right, big one here, rejection. All right, so this one really goes back to the lizard brain as well. All right, a lot of people have this fear of rejection of, oh, like, I don't want the prospect to say no, like, I'm scared of it. And this is just because, again, you think you're going to die when someone says no. It's a lizard brain coming back to bite you. It's this unfamiliar thing of rejection. Thing is, like, rejection is, it doesn't matter at all. Like, I have people say no to me. I'm just like, oh, okay, well, all right. And, like, if they truly say no, like, sometimes there's objections you can overcome, but a lot of people, what they do is they have this fear. And what manifests because of this is a lot of think about it, a lot of, maybes, a lot of, let me get back to you, a lot of these things, a lot of these, like, BS stalls. And this manifests because of this fear of rejection. Let me explain. So if you have a fear of rejection, what happens is a lot of times you'd rather sit in the maybe zone, in the, okay, well, yeah, let me just like, let him think about it. Because then, like, maybe he'll come back and we'll get a deal closed. You would rather sit in the comfort of that and that maybe than the rejection of a no. That's what's going on. All right. You have this fear of rejection. All right, me personally, I would rather get a no than a maybe. All right, because maybes take so much energy and attention. It's like, okay, if I have, like, 30 open deals in a month, that's 30 follow-ups you got to conduct. It's all this, cognitive energy of, open loops of, okay, well, maybe this guy will close. Maybe this will help me make XYZ dollars. It's all this BS. All right, if you just have no's and yeses, how simpler would your sales life be? Be a whole lot simpler. All right, so overcome that fear of rejection. Really just give it reps. All right, really just show yourself, hey, this person said no, and I'm okay, cool, I'm not dead now. I would rather have a no than a yes. All right, so this is the thing that's going to help you overcome those BS objections of those stalls of think about it, of maybe, of, let me look at my finances and get back to you, all this BS. All right, this is overcoming this will help you overcome those objections. We're like, oh, yeah, man, well, before I go, like, what are the things you wanted to think about? All right, it'll help you ask you simple questions like that to truly get to the truth of the matter, the true concern, the true doubt. All right, so this is the big things right here, 1, 2, and 3. These are the big things. If you fix this, you will close sales as an introvert. You will improve your sales. You can see a lot of it is, it's right around this self-identity, because this is the core of it. This is the core of it. All right, you must adapt yourself to the goal. The goal will not adapt to you. So we have to change this stuff. We have to change the self-identity. We have to change the neural pathway. We have to change your beliefs. This is the big stuff right here. All right, so I hope this video helped. If you are a coach and you're looking to add 10 to 30K a month to your coaching business, go ahead and just click the link below. This is exactly what we help coaches do, and I will talk to you there. All right, like the video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. You're amazing.